All right, everyone, welcome to October 24th, 2023. So we've been chatting in our little group, and hopefully you'll tune in. I picked a card from a mudra deck. These are hand positions. And today what came up for us and the world is this position. You're going to hold your index finger and your pinky. And this is for tolerance and to be generous. This is the Buddhi mudra. The liquid mudra helps in cases of edema. So if you got edema, accumulation of fluids in the body, burning sensation in the eyes, kidney and bladder complaints can be eased as well in acute cases. You maintain the mudra as long as needed. In chronic cases, practice 4 times a day for about 10 minutes. So in the author's experience, so this is Gertrude Hershey. In my experience, when we are faint-hearted, downcast, or make exaggerated demands on ourselves or others, the result always brings suffering, trouble, and strife. It's time to put an end to that. So, in our group, without even knowing that this card and what it meant came up, people said, well, I seem to care too much. Someone else brought up addictions, drug addictions and things like that. So you can see this is already referring to this exaggerated type of behavior. We went from addictions to thinking about caring. And I brought that up, and somebody else agreed with me that they felt the same way. So our addiction can also be as caregivers. Our addiction can be to, be drawn very quickly to doing something. And this is going to include food. All right, we're not just going to do drug addiction and things like that. So this mudra should help you out. All right. And it's also, it's so interesting that it's tolerance, because I think of in the tarot, tolerance, or the middle road, or the art of patience. These are all sort of words used for temperance, right? Tolerance was during Prohibition, we called it, tolerance and intolerance, right? Or the balance. It's what was it called? Gosh, I forgot. But anyway, it just reminding me of all this type of addiction in any case. So imagine that you are near a majestic waterfall. Hold your mudras too, which produces a wonderful rainbow. You freely relinquish all despondency, all expectations, and all the superfluous fluid in your body to the waterfall. The colorful rainbow expresses all of your newfound generosity, sense of lightness, and freedom. So the mantra for today is, without expectations, I am free. Without expectations, I am free. All right, I'm going to hold the Buddhi Mudra as we go into, well, I bet you anything that could be enough for today describing it, but I'm going to look and see what else we could possibly look at. So why don't we look at the brain? So all over the cortical brain, into the memory centers, each section of the brain relates to a different sensory organ. The senses are how we experience the world. Without our senses, we don't have that experience, right? So we have the images because we see the world. We have smells because we smell the world, right? So we have all of these incoming information. The brain records it, but we also record a lot of verbiage. So we've got a lot of extra interpretations of what we think. So no two people are going to interpret a situation the same way. Said this over and over here. Of course, it's valid, right? There's no way to get the facts of something from someone's visual. We know the brain is filling in spaces. It's constantly filling in. Whatever's going on, the brain will fill it in. It doesn't mean it's all out there, but we'll fill in the meaning to a sentence. Think about having a discussion of a newspaper report. Everyone feels like, no, this is what it said, and this is what it said, and this is what it said. And you go back and you realize, no, they put the whole thing together and they got an interpretation, usually. And it's really interesting to listen to people who actually say, this is my interpretation, right? Instead of the facts of the matter are. And it's really important because we have AI now. People can reconstruct your face and your movements and your voice, and they can put up a speech that you didn't say, right? So, and really, it's getting harder and harder and harder to determine. So if our brain's filling in things, it would be nice if we went the other way, that we become more and more perceptive and we use our brains to be able to see, wait, I can tell the difference between AI. Till we can't, there'll be a point where we can't. I'm sure we'll come up with another way to validate things, but at the moment we aren't. So let's do some clarifying of those filters, those beautiful filters. I'm holding the mudra. I hope you guys are still holding it. I'm talking, so I keep dropping it, but without expectations, I am free. And we want to clear some of the expectations. Those are going to be the most harmful to us, right? Is I have a bunch of expectations. I do it all the time. This is my work. I've been doing this since I was a kid. And still, here I am in my 60s, still going, hey, I got a ton of expectations. I just hear all these shoulds all the time. And I keep clarifying so I don't say should, and I can really know what's going on. For me, it's my body. I don't always pay attention to my body. It can feel really good. I start doing a lot of things, and I'm not subtle enough to understand that I'm getting tired, or I'm breaking down. And I overdid it quite a bit in the last couple of months to the last 2 weeks. It's like I've been in a fog. I've been walking around just trying to get out of bed and do things. And so I rested really quite well for 2.5 days. And I'm back. I can see again. So it would be nice if I don't actually go and do that, right? Because I don't want to have any recurrence of old maladies, that's for sure. And I don't want to create difficulties. So yeah, we'll just look at those expectations that could do that. So we're doing prevention here. This is prevention. Now, some of you might have really strong expectations that really disrupt you. I'm just kind of feeling into when we think we're not supposed to feel a certain thing, and yet it's okay. We're stressed about something. My mom lost her phone yesterday, and she got really stressed about it. And I'm like, what do you care about the phone? I care about you. I couldn't get in touch with you. I don't care about the phone. And of course, the more I said that, I don't give a damn about the phone. I didn't say it like that. I said, I don't give a darn about the phone. She got more and more relaxed. So you can almost hear her expectations of herself, that I shouldn't have done it that way. I should have, been on the ball. It's like, no, who cares? This doesn't matter as long as you're okay, right? How many times do we do that? I don't know. I do it quite often. If I don't do something properly, which, is terrible, and I am admitting that I do it, but our work here, and whatever work you do with anyone, I told you about taking soul responsibility with Monica Marzak and Caroline Davey. You can go on last week's video. You can go onto my website. You'll find their details there. You can, attend all kinds of classes. There's so much out there for you to be able to basically get your mind functioning, your brain functioning in a better way. That could be just simple as, try having porridge for 2 weeks, just a porridge fast and see what happens. Even go to a doctor, have your bloods measured, do oats, nice steel cut oats with a bit of salt and water for, 2 weeks and see what happens to your gut brain. Tell me what, and see what happens to your bloods. These are great things you can do, and that can clear up your head, right? If the gut brain's not working, your brain's not going to work very well. When I was a kid, there was this card that was very popular. This is in the 60s, and I'm going to say a few words that might get me scratched from here, but I think that's mostly for advertising. But anyway, it said, who wants to control the body? The brain said it wants to control the body because, it controls all the functions. The eyes said, yeah, but without me, you can't see. You won't be able to get anywhere. You'll bump into things. And, on and on and on till finally the asshole spoke up, and the asshole said, I should, ready to laugh, I should control the body. And all of the other organs started laughing. You're the asshole. So the asshole puckered up and closed up. And slowly, as time went by, the eyes couldn't see, the ears couldn't hear, the brain stopped functioning. It was a great little poem that we had. I'm sure people my age can remember from my time that little poem. In any case, that's how important. You might remember that and go, it is a very important part of the body. Our body needs to digest. It needs to work. Yeah. So a lot of things go wrong. Well, with your gut brain, nothing's going to work. So you can find many ways. And there is consciousness work as well that will help your gut brain. And that's what we do here. When you want to, one of the things you can do is get on to our work here before we actually start the recorded part of this session. You might benefit. When you have an opportunity, it's not like you have to get on every week, but coming on and hearing what we have to say and sharing, it's a powerful moment for me. Sometimes I dismiss things because it's too much energy for me and I'm working with the planet and I don't want something specific. But as I siphon through it, it's like a computer. I siphon through it and I find it really powerful. I hope my gang finds this powerful too. All right, so now that we've got that gut brain focusing in now, looking at us, we've got our little tolerance mudra. I'm going to switch back to the cow mudra. And the reason I'm doing the cow mudra is for our health, right? This is for healing. So I really, really love this mudra. So I've got it going. I don't know if I showed it to you. So it's third finger on the index finger, third finger to index finger, and then you're going to get your pinkies going. So that's the cow mudra. And I'm just holding this. It just feels amazing. And this is for healing, basically. So I'll just hold this for you. If you can't do it, that's fine. I'll just hold it for you. You can keep the other mudra. And we're going to breathe, and we're going to start doing an optimization of our lovely gut brains to help everything in the body. We want that gut brain to make the right decisions for us, to have that spontaneous intuition, that it links out to the immune system. And our brains function really well as we drain out the expectations that come from our history. Right? So the seat of the soul, not the soul of this body, the seat of the soul is the liver. And that holds all of our experiences of this lifetime. It is not the soul of the body. And we're just going to help that liver and link it up to a spot in the brain that acts like the liver. It's called the reticular, section 8 of our thalamus. and let that area, those two areas, go through the thalamus and start finding all that stuff that needs to be discarded from the cortical brain. And we'll bring in the cerebellum, inner cerebellum, that beautiful inner cerebellum that coordinates mind. And there we go. I got the buzzing everywhere now. I feel like, because mind is everywhere. It's between all of you and me and you, and everybody is connected to this session. And it's also everywhere. It's, people just say, here's my mind. That's not true. Of course, that's where our brain is, and we think, and it feels like it's there, but mind is everywhere. It's all over. It's integrated. That's why we call it the body mind. It's everywhere. So I can feel that energy as I say mind. I feel it. Mind. I feel it right down to the tips of my toes. Mind. Let's try body and see what happens. Body. Oh, it's vibrating too. Body. There we go. It's very different. It feels a lot heavier. It feels a lot more, it feels dense and more localized. Whereas when I say mind, it kind of like moves all over. So interesting. That's not a fact of anything, by the way. What you feel is not a fact. Feelings are not facts. They're just things you feel. And deep breath. And I'm going to release the mudra and I'm going to tap it in. And I'm going to thank all of you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great day. Bye.